If you think research is this lonely, boring chore, you're in for a surprise. We're about to flip that idea on its head and show you how to see it for what it truly is, your ticket to joining the biggest, most exciting conversation in human history. When I say research, what's the first image that pops into your head? For most of us, it's something like this, isn't it? The lone scholar, tucked away in a dusty, silent library. It feels so isolated, maybe even a little intimidating. Like it's a job for one person, all alone. But what if that whole image is just a myth? What if every time you open a book or search for a source online, you're not just collecting facts? What if you're actually plugging into a massive, ongoing dialogue that has been going on for centuries? See? That changes everything. Okay, let's dive into that. First off, we've got to tackle this lonely researcher myth head-on. Because honestly, it's the very thing that can take a fascinating project and turn it into what feels like a pointless chore. A lot of us get trapped in what we could call the student role. You know the feeling. My job is to find facts, and the teacher's job is to give me a grade. But that mindset, it really sells both you and your reader short. The real power comes when you flip the script and take on the researcher role. You're not the student anymore, you're the teacher. You've learned something important that your reader doesn't know, and now it's your job to share it. So, once you shake off that limiting student role, you're ready to embrace a whole new reality. You get to join this incredible 5,000-year-old dialogue. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. A library isn't some quiet, dusty place. It's actually buzzing with the imagined voices of thousands of authors, all talking to each other across time. And when you write, you're adding your voice to that conversation, hoping that other voices will respond back to you. It's not a solo act at all. It's a deeply social one. But here's a really crucial difference. Unlike a real conversation where you can, adjust your tone or clarify something if you see a confused look, writing is an imagined conversation. Once you decide who you're going to be and who your reader is, those roles are locked in. You can't just go back and fix a misunderstanding after the fact. And this brings us to the most practical part of all. You have to consciously cast these roles right from the beginning. You're basically creating a kind of social contract between you and your reader, one that says, hey, I'll play my part if you play yours. Just take a look at these two sentences about sleep. The first one is formal, it's technical, it's clearly for colleagues who already know the jargon. But the second one? It's direct, it uses the word you, and it explains things in plain language. It's the same exact topic, but they are two completely different conversations, all because the writer took a moment to understand who they were talking to. And to make this really hit home, let's walk through a little story. We're going to follow an expert on Zeppelins who has to talk to three totally different audiences. This is where this whole idea of casting roles really comes to life. Check out how that social contract changes for each group. For the Zeppelin Club, their need is simple. Entertain me. So the expert's role becomes storyteller, sharing thrilling anecdotes. For the film studio, the need is all about practical accuracy. So the expert has to be a consultant, giving them verifiable facts. But for other academic scholars, their need is for deeper understanding. So our expert's role shifts again, to that of a fellow researcher contributing new evidence to the ongoing scholarly conversation. Okay, this all leads us to the final, and I think most important section. What happens if you get this wrong? What's the real consequence of failing to cast your reader in the right role and, well, failing to make them care? These three little words, this is without a doubt the most devastating response a researcher can ever get. It's not, I disagree. Disagreement is still a conversation. It means a reader is actually engaged with your ideas. But I don't care? That means you failed to even start the conversation in the first place. They've hung up the phone before you even said hello. So, the crucial takeaway here is this. Your goal isn't just to present facts. It's to convince your reader, the one you've specifically chosen to talk to, that what you found is important to them. You have to show them why it matters in their world for their needs. So before you write a single word of your next project, just stop and run through this quick checklist. First, who exactly am I writing for? Second, what do they expect from me? Are they here to learn facts, solve a problem, or just be entertained? And third, how are they probably going to respond to what I'm about to say? Answering these simple questions sets the stage for a great conversation. So the next time you finish a paper, don't just ask yourself, is it done? Ask a much bigger, more important question. You've put the words on the page, sure, but have you actually started the conversation?